Well, there seems to be a lot of excitement on the new Kenwood TM-D750A as an alpha. And I'm looking for another radio, so I kind of watching all this stuff, and it caught my attention, so I said, let me look at it. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to meet my needs, but that depends on what your needs are and what you currently may have already. So this may work or not work for you. Would this be one radio for all ham needs? Ham radio has such a varied aspects to it. Two radios is probably the minimum, sometimes that third one. It depends on the current technology that's moving so fast. Anyways, so I'll go into details as to why it's not going to work for me. Now, keep in mind the specs that are published out there are currently very incomplete, and even some of the info, there seems to be some sort of conflicts as to what it has or doesn't have. So keep that in mind. Make a list to check out if it meets what you think it has. As I mentioned, this is a first production, so to expect bugs and maybe incomplete features. If you can wait, allow a year before buying, or at least allow sufficient time for full use reviews. People who've used it for a while and made the pros and cons available online. So, there is no HF or 6 meters. There's no CW. There's no single sideband. It appears to be a two-piece configuration only. I couldn't tell if the remote head could be mounted onto the body as one piece, like I've done with my ICOM IC2730. Works perfect. I did pick up extra mounts. And by the way, online you can get these mounts for $10 versus $45, and even the remote head mount for $25 versus $45. So, and they're identical to ICOM. So keep that in mind. When you're looking for accessories, a non-brand will work just as good. And I'll be showing why I got the head mount for certain scenarios later on. Okay, it is a tri-band. 144, 220, 430. My Nagoya antenna is tri-band, so that antenna will work perfect with that one. I have a video on it, so if you want more information. The communication seems complete. It has Wi-Fi, USB, Bluetooth. It has a digipeater. I'm assuming texting option for APRS is complete. Apparently, some brands released a radio with APRS, but they couldn't reply or send a text. They said it will come later on. So don't allow yourself to get caught in that scenario where you may have to wait months to have that feature. I like the idea that the APRS, the GPS, and the terminal node controller are integrated. So you have a digipeater, so a personal one. That's a nice feature. Hopefully that will become standard in all radios. Unfortunately, it won't replace my ICOM 705. I just have to say the 705 has proven to be a great 2-meter, 70-centimeter home base radio. You don't need high power on a base. You have higher gain antennas. For mobile, yeah, you may run into problems with 10 watts, but it's too expensive to be used in a mobile, which is why I got the IC2730. For $400 or $500, you have everything that you need for mobile use. Plus, I can't imagine using this Kenwood mobile while driving with the current distracted driving laws in effect. You have to be careful. Now, regarding APRS, it has its place. It serves a purpose. The only concern I have is why would you want the general public to track you or to know your home location? I would recommend turning off the feature when not needed. I mean, look how AirTags have been used to track people, forcing Apple to update their software so it'll tell you if an unauthorized AirTag hangs around too long. Which is why I use the iPhone, because of its privacy protection and tracking. However, I'm still forced to set many of the settings. By default, a lot of them are on, so you have to go in and turn off a lot of things. For example, search. There's a settings in general, search. Turn off. Otherwise, everyone will know all the searches you did with every app that you have on the phone. Why would you want people to know what you search on your bank account? You know? So I thought I'd just give you a bit of information in case you're shopping around like me. The IC2730 is proved to be better radio than I thought, even after using it for a while. It's growing on me. It would be mostly dedicated for crossband. The ID 5100 could do the same, but another $300-400 more. So D-Star has its place. For mobile use, the audio quality of many people, they're using these hotspot devices. I don't know. Not very pleasant to listen to on a mobile environment. There's even issues when I'm listening to people on the bass. The audio, like there's no mids, no highs. The audio is extremely low in comparison to the average user. It's it's a nuisance. Which is probably why I don't hardly ever use D-Star because of that. I've been with D-Star going back when it first came out. I even have these little devices you plug into your radios at the time. Audio-wise, it has not improved very good unless you have a decent equipment. These cheap hotspots, they're terrible. And then the price of the good ones, you might as well buy yourself a radio. Okay, we'll be testing some different mounts on our ICOM 2730. I'm curious to how well it will work with the mag mount. If you're planning to leave your radio long periods of time in your truck or vehicle, excuse me, then these mag mounts might be a way to go. Again, well, hopefully this information was useful. And if you have any information that I have not mentioned about these radios or you come across one, let me know in your comments. It would be appreciated. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It would be appreciated. Thumbs up would be great also. Have a nice day and take care.